Hey everyone, welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in to another video. My name is DordiHOTS. I don't know if you've heard of me, but I am a Master Heroes of the Storm player. I have over 8,000 levels in this game, and I got about, I don't know, a year and a half straight worth of HOTS. So if I were to play ranked, I'd probably be Grandmaster at this point, but we're really not going to talk about that. I'm just starting to play a lot more ranked recently. I have placed Master before. I have done really well in this game. I do have a lot of experience, and my favorite hero in this game is Li-Ming. So let's start talking about some of her talents. So I really do love Li-Ming. I think I'm level 500 with her, maybe even higher, if I were to include some of the other accounts. But anyways, all that aside, let's go over Li-Ming and some of my favorite talents on Li-Ming. Let me just go over actually every single one and give you kind of some good builds according to what you're going against. So here we have Force Armor. Here we have Aether Walker, and this is Power Hungry. At level 4, we have Charge Blast, Triumvirate, and Dominance. At level 7, we have Seeker. Oh man. Okay, this is Calamity, but I don't remember the Orb talent at 7. I think it's like Zell's Vengeance or something. Oh, I got it. Okay, Zay's Vengeance. Okay. I was close. We're just trying to see if I know all the talents by heart. Disintegrate, Wave of Force. 13 is Illusionist. That's Cannoneer. That's Glass Cannon. 16, Fireflies, Mirror Ball. What's the Orb range talent called? Oh, that one got me. Okay, Diamonds. Arcane Orbit. Okay, Arcane Orbit. So we missed that one. At 20, this is Temporal Flux. It's a bad one. That's Repulsion, Talrasha's Elements, and Archon. So now you actually know I'm not just some dingus. I actually know what I'm talking about. I actually am pretty good at Li-Ming. Okay, so let's go over. So Force Armor has become Li-Ming's best level 1 from a just a general standpoint. And the reason why is because there used to be a level 1 talent for Li-Ming called Astral Presence, and it basically just gave you 100% mana regeneration when below 35% mana. But now Astral Presence has gone away, and it has been moved as the passive on Force Armor. So now Force Armor not only gives you 50 fucking spell armor, but it also gives you an insane amount of mana regeneration. So what more do you want as a mage other than spell armor and mana regeneration? It's fantastic. Now let's not discredit some of the other talents too, right? Power Hungry, if you're going for that extra spell power, and the mana that it gives you from orbs is nice, right? Like as long as you just grab an orb, you get 10% spell power, which is noticeable, and not only that, you get more mana from getting a globe, which is nice. Aether Walker is also fantastic. I can basically blink around for free. So I'm going to go ahead and just go out on a whim here and tell you that all of Li-Ming's level 1 talents are fantastic. You cannot really go wrong. If they have a lot of mages, they have a lot of spell damage, or you feel like it's going to be a long sustained fight and you'll need a little extra mana when you're low on mana, Force Armor is a great choice. If you feel like you're going to need to be positioning a lot and casting teleport a lot and, maybe getting in position for those orbs, Aether Walker is great. If you feel like you need a little extra damage, then Power Hungry is good, because Power Hungry can really help with builds like with Glass Cannon and Talrasha and maybe a Nano Boost. That's nasty. It's another 10% spell power plus another 20% spell power plus another 20% ability power plus whatever Nano Boost gives you, right? So that's actually pretty gross if you combo those together. Now at level 4, we have Triumvirate and Dominance, which are going to be my favorite choices. Now I have a buddy who's also a Li-Ming streamer. He's also very good at Li-Ming, and he loves Charge Blast. He always goes Charge Blast. Now I don't really like Charge Blast, but there is an argument for Charge Blast. If they have heroes like Genji or Tracer, or heroes that are kind of difficult to hit with abilities, then you might want to go a more auto attack route on Li-Ming, like Cannoneer and Charge Blast. Now, usually when you're picking a mage, you don't want to take auto attack talents, because most of the majority of your damage is going to come from abilities. But there are exceptions to that. If they're really difficult to hit with abilities, then Charge Blast is okay. But this is still not my favorite. My favorite level 4 is actually the Orb Reset, because not only does it reset the cooldown of the orb, not fully reset, but it reduces the cooldown of your next orb, but it also refunds mana. So this allows you to just efficiently throw orb after orb after orb. Another honorable mention at level 4 is Dominance. Now, Dominance restores health on takedowns. If you're trying to be that crazy Calamity, Snowball, Li-Ming, then Dominance is a great talent to go with it, because it will restore your health while you're getting those kills. Now, level 7, my go-to talent is, of course, Calamity. Calamity is just a fucking great talent. Honorable mention goes to Zay's Vengeance, because if you need to go a poke build and you need to go more of a poke Li-Ming, then not only does the level 7 increase the damage of the orb if you hit it from range, but it also further reduces the cooldown. So with these two orb talents here, you can basically just chuck orbs all day. The cooldown is really low. I don't know exactly how much it is, and don't quote me on it, but it's just like 2 seconds, something like that. I could be wrong, but it's very low when you take both these talents. Maybe like 3 or 4 seconds when you just have this talent, and 2 or 3 when you have both these talents. So these are all great. Now, Seeker is okay, all right? Like, Calamity is obviously the best, level 7. The Orb talent is the second best, and Seeker is the third best. And the reason why is because you can just point and click Calamity, and it gives you 300 damage. Now, with Seeker, you have to hit all of your missiles just for an extra 140 damage. So something that's more difficult to do for less damage is obviously worse. So Seeker is going to just kind of be the worst level 7 talent. So if I'm going to go my general build, I'm going to go Force Armor at 1, Orb at 4, Calamity at 7. Now, you can't always do that. Maybe I'm going to have to go Force Armor at 1, Orb at 4, and Orb at 7 if they have a scary team that I can't blink into. Now, at level 10, I actually prefer Disintegrate. Now, the reason why is because back in the day, Wave of Force used to actually have a shorter cooldown. It used to be 20 seconds, and Disintegrate was 30. So back in the day, I believe Wave of Force was actually probably the better ult, right? Because it displaced people, and it had a shorter cooldown, so you could kind of cast it and snowball people and get the kill, boom, get the kill, boom, move them. But now the reason why I prefer Disintegrate, even with Calamity builds, which is kind of crazy, is because not only does it provide great wave clear, it does more damage than Wave of Force, and it has a shorter cooldown. So there you go. There are 3 arguments for Disintegrate. Now, of course, if they have a Genji, you don't want to take Disintegrate most of the time, unless you're going to be able to move it out of the way quickly instead of pressing R to cancel it again, because you do not want to deflect a Disintegrate right into your face. That will just completely destroy you. Now, Wave of Force has its uses, right? Like, let's say they have an ETC and you need to knock them out of Mosh. Let's say that you need some CC, you need some displacement. They have a Zeratul that's going to dive you. Then Wave of Force, you know, there are times when I have to take Wave of Force. If their team is too scary and they're going to get on me and I need the Wave of Force, I'm going to take it. The best level 13 talent, I do believe, is Illusionist. The reason why is because it gives you teleport range. Teleport range actually allows you to teleport over things that you couldn't teleport without this talent. Not only that, it also gives you more kill potential. I can blink closer to the enemy and a lot farther to actually finish a kill. And in addition to that, an insane thing that it does is it also instantly refreshes the cooldown of teleport if you take enough damage. So it is a safety talent just as much as it is a damage talent. Now, the second honorable mention for level 13 Li-Ming talent is Glass Cannon. Spell power increased by 20%, but decrease your maximum health. If you're able to play Li-Ming safely, because she already blinks a lot, and she can kind of, you know, get all over the place, blah, 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 then Glass Cannon is a nice augment, right, for like a poke Li-Ming, because it just does extra damage. And let me say, Glass Cannon with a Disintegrate and an Orb combo, just throwing that full combo out, will absolutely destroy the majority of people in this game. It's just such a good talent. But it does, of course, make you more vulnerable, so you don't want to go it against a KT. I would never take Glass Cannon against a KT. And the reason why is because all they have to do is put a Ignite at level 16 on you and then cast Pyro, and you're dead every time if you have Glass Cannon. If I'm going against a KT, I'll always go Illusionist and Diamond Skin, and the reason is because not only do I get a cooldown on my teleport, but I also get a shield on my teleport. So I can almost always survive the Pyroblast Ignite combo unless I have Glass Cannon. Now, level 16, my favorite level 16 talent is going to be Diamond Skin. It's because when I'm going this crazy, you know, Force Armor, Orb Reset, Calamity, Disintegrate, Illusionist, Diamond Skin build, I'm going to be in there, right? And I don't have Wave of Force, so I need that extra little bit of shield. It's nice. Honorable mention for level 16 is Mirror Ball, the extra damage. This is not only really good for the Immortal race on Battlefield of Eternity, but it's also really good against tanks, and it's also great against structures. It makes your missiles do a shitload more damage because it fires 2 extra missiles. So it's just disgusting. Another honorable mention for level 16 is Arcane Orbit, because this increases the travel distance of your orb, and it increases the damage bonus. So Number one pick, Diamond Skin. Second favorite pick, Mirror Ball. And then third favorite, Arcane Orbit. Fireflies, I really don't recommend. Just kind of like Cannoneer. We didn't really go over that. Now, Cannoneer is, I think, Li-Ming's worst talent. Now, of course, there are arguments for it. If they have a Tracer, if they have a Genji, if they have very squishy heroes that are very mobile, that are hard to hit, then maybe you want to go and auto attack Li-Ming. But for the most part, you probably want to go and build Li-Ming as a mage. Now, level 20, what's my favorite level 20 talent? Well, Tal Rasha's Elements is absolutely disgusting. It just further increases your damage as long as you're snowballing. Another honorable mention. I know I'm not putting Repulsion second. You're going crazy, right? How could I not? But Tal Rasha is my first favorite level 20, and my second favorite level 20 is Archon. Why is Archon my second favorite level 20? Well, it's not because of team fights. Now, you can team fight with Archon, and sometimes it works, but the reason why Archon is my second favorite level 20 is because of its siege potential, right? If you've already wiped their whole team and you take Archon and you just sit there on your core, it actually sit there on their core, it can actually end the game just with Archon itself, right? It can, let's say that you're behind, taking out their structures, Archon will actually just destroy their forts, destroy their keeps, destroy their core, and there's nothing they can really do about it. It's a fantastic talent. Then, of course, third place for level 20 becomes Repulsion. Why is Repulsion third place for level 20? Well, not because of the knockback distance. Now, the knockback distance is great, but the range of the cast is what's great, right? You want to cast Wave of Force behind the enemy. So if you're going to cast it behind them, you have to be closer to them, which puts you in a vulnerable position. Now, Repulsion is good because it actually makes the cast range increase by 100%. So now I don't have to go as close to them to knock them into me. Now, I think one of the other worst talents for Li-Ming is Temporal Flux. Disintegrate slow, but it's a gradual slow, so it gradually goes up to 20. You don't need this talent, right? I'd much rather have 20% more damage on my abilities, an infinite Disintegrate, a Repulsion that knocks people way farther, and I can be cast from farther to actually finish the kill, than a slow on my Disintegrate. This is by far one of Li-Ming's worst talents. Cannoneer and Temporal Flux, I believe, are some of Li-Ming's worst talents. So I hope that this Li-Ming talent video really helped. Now, in the future, I'm going to be doing some more Li-Ming tutorials, so make sure to stay tuned, excuse me. Stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps. I also have a Twitch, so you can check me out over there. It's twitch.tv/DordiHOTS. That's DordiHOTS. I do stream as often as possible. I don't have a schedule, but yeah, in the future, I'm going to be putting out some really cool Li-Ming tutorial videos on kind of how to play in each comp, on each map, whatever you're doing. But here's the initial build guide kind of thing. Show you which talents are good, how you should be building her, and how you shouldn't. So I'm gonna set you off with. I'm gonna leave you with 2 different builds that you can give or take, see if you like or not. But the first build is going to be my general kind of go-to build that works against everything, and that's going to be Force Armor, Triumvirate, Calamity, Disintegrate, Illusionist, Diamond Skin, and Tal Rasha's Elements. Now, let's say that they have a Zeratul, they have a lot of dive, or you need the Wave of Force. If you're gonna be going Wave of Force, then I'm gonna change my build a little bit. If I'm going Wave of Force, I'm gonna go Force Armor, Triumvirate, Calamity, Wave of Force, Illusionist, Diamond Skin, and Tal Rasha. Actually, really, we're only changing one talent, yeah. But now we're going to go for a more damage Li-Ming. So we want more damage. We're already winning really hard. We want more damage. So we want more damage Li-Ming. We're going to go Power Hungry at 1, Triumvirate at 4, Calamity at 7, Disintegrate at 10, Glass Cannon at 13, Mirror Ball at 16, and Tal Rasha at 20. So basically, if we want more damage, we can kind of mess around with taking Glass Cannon instead of Illusionist, and we can mess around with taking Mirror Ball instead of we can take Mirror Ball instead of Diamond Skin. So those are the 2 talents that are, the 4 talents that are kind of interchangeable. The 13 and 16, you can go Mirror Ball, Diamond Skin, or you can go Glass Cannon or Illusionist here. You can go Power Hungry or Force Armor. Ether Walker's great too. And if you need a little more safety, Dominance doesn't hurt either. So hopefully these builds helped you out. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a little bit of a long video, but I hope it helped, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the Nexus.